Allah is the subject. Adam is the subject and Eve is the verb. Allah is the nature, the positive, urge. Adam is the subject and Eve is the verb to show about the relationship that the nature has to itself as positive. When a verb is a predicate, when a verb is standing alone as a one-word sentence, its nature is unobstructed, like run. That's a one-word sentence. It's fine, because it's a predicate value relationship to a value nature. And in other words, if you take that same word, run, and you add ing, now it's a participle nature. If you take that same word, run, and you put it, and it's not used as a main verb in a clause, it has to be used as a participle nature or as an infinitive nature. Its identity of value changes. And so, in other words, running, you could say start running. Now start is the main verb, and running is the subject now. See, start is the verb now, and running is the subject. It's no longer a verb. The identity of value changes. It became a participle nature, became a subject. It became so this is about identity of value. That's why Eve is the verb, and it's why the subject Adam has no value without the verb, without the main verb. So this is a conversation that's not sexist, and it's only in demonstration. It's about the identity the sciences share, that English was revealed to teach by internation sciences before they were criminally re-engineered. Before modern England, English was revealed by internation sciences and with yin-yang. And there are proofs too, with things that that religions in India are also multi-front counters to, in the preservation of ancient revelations. What was criminally re-engineered to criminally re-engineer every nation's relationship to internation sciences while they kept it going. Because they knew while they kept it going, they would also be keeping sophistication of understanding what they were for. And people would be degrading, teaching ulterior, because they were tricked and hurt to distrust internation sciences. And or they were also, tricked into entertaining roles with international criminal enterprises that nations, so then they had to tell lies off that they were entertained for the lie progressions. So that was the devil's method. So the devil is more probably an organized crime rather than like a ghost, or like a genie. The devil is an organized crime that stole ancient revelations, stole campus martias, stole the nature of sciences that the nations never thought anyone would be able to teach, take away, because it was taught and revealed how to reveal positive value nature progressions, called evolution. They also engineered landscape theater and categorical tricks and people, motivations ulterior for people to pretend what was set up by criminal and citizens' natures with summary convictions, ancient history, modern history, even to date. They don't have the organized crime and the extortion of our founders taught. They have the forced theater with that, forced criminal and citizens needed lies with that, forced glorified, for fact treatment, in other words, not lies. Because before the target was the fact treatment natures. Then that comes down to lies. If you, in other words, even in their letters, they didn't have free speech. So a predicate is always a positive value, positive relationship to itself as an identity of value, positive, with English. And with the law, because they share identity, the sciences, that would have a predicate act, which is always a temporary, lasting, negative value nature relationship to itself as positive, inherently, actively, and progressively. Because the nature has its own system that wants itself to progress as positive value nature here. And because when it's not let, and we're not letting our positive value nature relationship to itself, it's forced away. Forced value nature transfer, lead to hadis. This is space nature, forced transfer. Nature is positive's relationship to itself, inherently, actively, and progressively. I didn't read this, but we're going to examine proofs of it. We're going to examine ratiocination. What's obfuscating even definitions in the dictionary, attaching lies, delusion, physical delusions, and natures of logic, needing to hide premises with styles, just only holding the same theater as in defense of the same means to hide premises through time, but bridging every constitutional value, not letting them at once together too. We've never seen what we could do ratiocination, free science. And so it has nothing to do with business and money. Those are natures of logic that were cultivated to be defended, and then need to defend that, justifications of that, needing to hide lies, delusions, and premises, have line progressions with that set up for them to do that. So we're going to examine how the sciences share an identity, how pantheism was it's about the many nations of the one nature of positive, which is not God. God is a concept used to talk about, to get nations that not to connect people, to talk about what this is, what we can agree about. We all share the sequence nature. We all share, it is truth at the same time. It is a fact treatment nature at the same time. It is in demonstration all ways at once. Just like all parts of our body share one identity. All parts of space share one identity unto itself, inherently, actively, and progressively. It will only stay positive. That's why our top-down lying nations, as victims, they're victims, but they can't describe from what. Because colonization was engineered to stay dissolved, so they couldn't explain for what. Even kings and queens, because they had everything, false pseudo sophistication with the sciences, with medical corruption tied to courts since some ancient times, shrines tied to prisons, geopolitically, with areas, fact treatment natures, all ages of it stay insidiously intercampus and off-campus connected to what's only letting rolls with this from only letting rolls with this cultivated, from a only let realized propagated base of it, with ulterior interests, only let propagated blaming on other, or having exploited it. This is what our streams, our courts teach day.